And hola, ¿qué tal? So, guys, we are here with the Venezuelan SU-30MK2. We're gonna actually take a look on the new SU-30, right? A pretty interesting vehicle and the new rank 8 premium of the Russians, okay? So, here you have it. It is a pretty beautiful aircraft, I gotta say. It doesn't have a cockpit yet. And it does feel very, very similar to the SU-27SM, kinda, okay? So, yeah, the radar, the everything. Oh, it's speaking in Spanish. I just noticed that the radio is in Spanish. That is pretty cool. And yeah, as you can see, we do have our beloved R-77 over here, which is pretty interesting, right? So it will be the most advanced premium aircraft that the Russians have on their tech tree with the Venezuelan Su-30, right? It is still work in progress, as you see. You can see some missiles that are not fully modeled properly, right? And the aircraft itself is gonna be it feels like it is an Su-25, okay? It just feels the exact same. It doesn't have the canards, as you can see. It doesn't have the thrust vectoring, but it does have, of course, the button to do cobras and stuff, which is still pretty amazing, of course. Let me do one over here, but of course, with no thrust vectoring, it would mean that you have a little bit less control when you are, doing the post-stall maneuvers, when you are after the post-stall. You have around almost 100, like 96, I think, countermeasures, which is okay. It's nothing too crazy. It is a 13.3 vehicle, okay? So, yeah, I think it's gonna be a great premium. Why? Well, the thing, guys, is that, yeah, it is going to be, heavier, and we're gonna check it out, the performance, later. But at the end of the day, guys, it is an aircraft that it is almost the same as the Su-27SM, but it has a lower BR, right? So it is pretty great. And as far as I know, for some reason, this is the... Let me just change one button over here. You do have your helmet, which is also a pretty good thing. You have the IRST, as you see right there. So, yeah, you have the IRST. So it's an aircraft that it's very complete, which means that it is very, very similar to the Su-27SM with a lower BR. Although, yeah, it will be a bit heavier. And we're going to check it out later, what is the difference, really. But at the end of the day, it is still a pretty good vehicle. And I gotta say, guys, this will be one of the best premium aircraft you can buy. Yeah, there are F-18s and F-2s right out there. But in the terms of pure performance and the highest BR that you can get, this will be the best, right? So the best premium in the game is here, which is crazy to think about because it is not that different from the tech tree version of the flankers, right? So let's take a look on the hangar because you can see some things that are a little bit more intertwined with these differences, right? First thing, guys, the RWR, I don't know if you noticed, it is an L150 instead of the SPO-15, which is great. Much better RWR than the SPO-15 of the older Su-27s. The radar is not ready yet, according to the what BVD said on the stream, right? So for now, it's the N001, but if I'm not mistaken, it's supposed to be the VEP version of this radar. So no electronics scanned at all, but it is going to be better than what we currently have here. And in the engines, for now, it is with the FP version and not the normal F. So according to most sources, it uses a normal F engine, but it is using the FP engine. So we're going to have to wait and see what this actually brings to the table here, because as you can see, the FP is the one with the thrust vectoring over here. So I don't know, maybe it should be the FM1. I don't know, maybe the naming is different. I honestly don't know. I think the naming is wrong. That's the thing. Because if you take a look on the afterburning thrust, it is 116 kilonewtons, while the stronger ones, like, for example, the FM1 over here is 125, right? And 116 is the same thrust that we have on the AL31F, right? So it's supposed to be that. It's just a naming thing for now, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, no thrust vectoring, and it will have a reduced power, okay? So these are the main things about the aircraft. It has a pretty good skin. For now, you cannot get the other one, which I think it's going to be probably like a pre-order bonus or something. And then let's take a look on the weapons, and we have some very interesting things over here. So you do have your beloved R-77s, as you see, but you also can carry R-27Rs, the R-27ET, and the R-73E. So no, for now at least, R-27ER, just the normal R version, which is pretty odd, right? And then for the air-to-ground, you can take non-guided bombs, of course, high drag, low drag. You can carry some guided stuff, some bigger bombs like the 1500, but some guided stuff like the Cobb 1500, the KH-29TD, which is an amazing, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later. The KH-29L, which is odd, I gotta say, because you don't have a pod to use this missile yet, so for sure, it's not ready yet. Cobb 500s, some rockets as well, as you see. So yeah, very cool. And then we have this. I'm gonna do a proper video on just that. But we do have a new missile on this thing, right? The KH-59M, in this case, the ME, which is the export model, which is a new cruise missile of the Russians. Like I said, I'm gonna do a proper video on them, but look at that. It feels, and it is pretty much, just a bigger KH-29, KH-25, right? That was the initial idea here. The major difference is that it has a booster with a very short burn time and then a turbofan engine to actually go very far. So these things have like 120 kilometers of range, and it will be pretty insane. And they are guided by INS, if I'm not mistaken. So you can do some crazy stuff. Like, for example, let me just do this. For example, you can just choose a target that you want. And then, let me just turn here. That is weird. So, there you go. As you can see, the initial burn. And then it turns, I mean, the back part of the missile falls back, of course, because it's the second stage, with the turbofan and the canards open as well, as you see. And then it flies directly to where I aimed. And this is a cruise missile. Some people are not calling this a cruise missile. It is a cruise missile, okay? So it is after the Grom 1, I think it was, or the Grom 2. The Grom, that was pretty much a cruise missile. It was as close, this is as close as we can get for now for that, okay? This will be a cruise missile, okay? This is a cruise missile. It has 120 kilometers. It can fly and produce its own lift. It is a cruise missile, okay? What is the problem with this? This is TV guided, and it will have a range where it tries to get to the target. So how it will work here, it is pretty interesting. Like I said, I'm gonna do a proper video on this, showing all the limitations and everything. But you can just try to get a target like that, and then you're gonna try to fire the missile. It is a bit bugged sometimes. I don't know if it's ready. So let's try to fire this thing. So you can fire, basically, right? And then the missile will go in the general direction, but it does have a TV seeker. So once it's actually close to the target, it will try to acquire, one of the targets, right? So, yeah, and if it doesn't have that, it will fly to the last position that it knew to try to target. This target in real life, the objective was mainly to destroy ships and bigger structures, but still it is programmable on the terms of there are, certain flight characteristics that it would do in real life, and it would try to do this depending on mission, right? So it's a pretty smart missile. It is an older missile than the KH-38, so I still believe the KH-38 is a better missile just because it's faster. It's harder to, to get a lock on. And let's see if the target actually... As you can see, the TV didn't get a lock, and it missed, right? So it's not perfect yet. I'm pretty sure it will get fixed later. But it's basically a TV missile that it can go very far away. Since it doesn't have GPS guidance, if I'm not mistaken, let me even check here. No, just TV, IOG. I know it has GPS guidance. It will basically fly to whatever place you put the missile in. So although it is a TV guided missile, it can be used as a cruise missile that is GPS guided as well, okay? Up to 120 kilometers of range, like I said. So anything, like, everywhere. The maximum allowed rocket release speed is 1.5 Mach, and the flight speed is 0.9. One thing that I have to notice is that According to some sources, it should be almost twice as much TNT equivalent over here, okay? But for now, it is pretty good no matter what. And this is it, guys. Let me just show to you guys because I saw a lot of people asking for that in the actual game. Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, I don't think the KH-59 was added to other vehicles yet, but it will be. Okay, it will be for the SU-34, probably the... all of these vehicles, okay? So, pretty interesting, but here it is, guys. The SU-30MK2 AMV. It is a pretty interesting aircraft. 13.3, 12.3 BR in the ground battles. Amazing BR for ground battles. And, yeah, I mean, if you go together with something, let's see, we have a 13, like, together with the T-72B3A over here, you can do a lot of things, okay? So, very good aircraft. One of, if not the best premium jet in the game, okay? So here are the stats of it. You can check it out. We will take a look on the performance later, okay? But 205 meters per second of a climb. It's a good measurement. A little bit less than the SM, for example. So, yeah, a little bit less than the normal SU. But it's still good, guys. You are expecting a heavier SU, a flanker, but it's not as heavy as the SU-34, okay? So it's a pretty good buy, actually. So, like I said, best premium in the game for sure, in my opinion. So, I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. Thank you all the patrons and members. And bye, guys. See ya. And, of course, just remember, I already did a video with the Golden Eagle. It is in the channel. And also, the Flying Pancake as well. I already flew it. Okay? So, you can check it out. See you guys later. Bye, guys.